Welcome to Married to Portuguese. On each episode, my English-Irish husband, Bob, and I discuss and laugh about our life and adventures in the Portuguese culture.
Bom dia.
Bom dia.
And we're back.
And we're back. How does it feel to be back, Bob?
Well, I'm excited to be back recording these. Resetting up our spacious studio here was a bit of a challenge because we had moved things aside and changed lenses and used the camera for other stuff. So anyway, it's good to be back, even though rusty with all the recording stuff.
Well, we took 2 months off.
2 months. And it was wonderful summer, right? Yep. Wonderful summer. A lot of birthdays.
Yeah.
I think we kicked it off with the retirement party for your cousin.
That's right. That's right.
And then there were the never-ending birthday parties. We're supposed to have one birthday party for like all three daughters, and because of life, we ended up doing three smaller parties, and it just never seemed to end. Yeah. We were always taking somebody out for dinner for their birthday, and they all wanted to go to the same place, which was great. We just kept going back to the same same restaurant.
Yes.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
And what were your highlights?
Oh, my highlights for the summer. Like you said, it was wonderful to see all our children, to have all the celebrations we had with them. And just yesterday we had one for, another birthday party. And the weekend before was your mom's birthday party.
Milestone birthday for my mom.
Yes, she turned 90.
Yeah.
God bless her.
God bless Joe.
Yeah. I've always said to Bob, when I grow up, I want to be just like her, because she's going to be 90, and she still drives and still meets with her friends, her high school friends, for lunch, and volunteers and does all of these things, and a very active. Does not look like she is in her 90s by any means.
No, she's great genes. I hope she's passed them along.
Yes, I can't catch them, but you do, and so do my children. So I hope they all do.
Hopefully somebody gets
somebody
them.
Does. Yes. But yeah, no, it's just been wonderful, and of course we had the continuation of our, the season 2 of Maria's Portuguese Table just be picked up by really major stations. So the 3 biggest stations there is for PBS, which is, Boston GBH, as well as Chicago PBS, as well as LA, Los Angeles PBS. So they all picked it up right away, which I think the first season they picked it up, but they picked it up like later in the year. It wasn't like right off the bat. Mm-hmm. So this time around I was really happy about it.
Yeah, and it's picking up over the summer months, which are generally
the quiet months.
So
yeah, so I'm assuming more will be picking up. I think more stations in Florida are looking at doing more, as well as some central stations as well. So Midwest central stations. So so it's all good. It's all good stuff.
And it's fun as we've gone back to the local places that were in the show, and we bump into people, restaurants, and like, oh, we're here because of you.
Oh, I know. I love that. I really do, because I love the fact that the places that open their doors and open their hearts for us and just like let us come in and take over for them, that, people are now going back and showing them love, because they deserve it. They really do. Yep. Everyone that we filmed with, we really, we felt the love. We felt their love, and we felt it all. And it's just been wonderful. It really has been. It really has been.
It has. Another highlight was the feast.
That's right. We went to the Madeira feast, the Feast of the Blessed Sacrament, in the first weekend in August. Mm-hmm. And so we went for the opening night. And there was like a little shindig before the opening, like the opening ceremonies kind of thing that we went to. And what a great time. It's they know how to put a party on.
They really do.
They really do.
really
It's like
do.
Party Central. It really is.
It was great. So we met some new friends.
Oh, yeah.
Got to see a lot of our current friends and
Yes.
friends we hadn't seen in a while.
Yes.
So that was
Yes.
a real treat. It was a beautiful night.
Oh, yeah.
They had a perfect weekend, I
Yeah.
think.
We were
It
under a
was
tent.
just
It was beautiful.
no humidity.
Yeah,
and
it was really
It
beautiful.
was all great.
Yeah.
That was all great.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a wonderful summer, and I hope everyone else's summer has been wonderful too. And what I'm leaving out in all this is all the cooking and baking that I've been doing.
A ton.
A ton.
You could probably see it in our faces. We have been.
Yeah, we've gained a lot of weight. Yes, yeah, it's been a lot. The thing is, and I think this is something for all of those that have known me, is that I've been working on book 2 for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it always goes on the wayside because of Maria's Portuguese Table.
Yeah, because of the show.
Yeah. And so every time it's been, okay, let's hurry up and film, and then that's off to the side. So I do that when I have a chance. And it dawned on us that I didn't have that many more to go, but I still had quite a number.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been just checking those babies off.
So just a handful.
Yeah.
A handful left.
That's it.
And then we've already lined up somebody to do the layout for the
Yep.
book and
Editing and all of that fun stuff. And so we'll see.
soon. Fingers
Soon.
crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yay.
Fingers crossed on that.
Yeah.
And we got to the beach a few times.
Yes, we actually.
That was nice.
We did that. Yeah.
And to be clear, okay, take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. In the Northeast, we had a typical summer. We were lucky. And
Yeah.
it seemed, and I say typical, if you live in southern New England, it's like hot. And we get to about the end of July, and it just starts to taper off as the days start getting shorter, and August is wetter, and that was what we had.
Yeah.
So we got to the beach a lot in July, maybe once or twice in August.
We have nothing to complain.
We're not complaining about because we know so many folks
We are not complaining.
under this heat dome
Yeah.
and suffering.
Yeah.
So, we've had a good summer. We feel it ending where so many of you are still sweltering.
Yeah.
So our thoughts are with you on that. But beach was great because we hadn't been able to get there the past few years. So to just sit down for a couple hours and dig your toes in the sand and
just
stare at the water.
stare
was
at the
nice.
water and hear the ocean, which to me is almost like breathing. The waves go in and out. It's that motion of deep breaths. And goodness knows we needed it because we've just been, It's been a lot. We've just, all of us as a collective we've all been through a lot. And it's good to just take a breather every once in a while. So yeah, that was needed, much needed.
Yeah. Oh, and I would say also, since you're watching this podcast, then you're following what we do.
Yes.
It's not like I wasn't working on the podcast. I redesigned the thumbnail. I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but I redesigned the thumbnail. But I signed us up with a service which will distribute us beyond YouTube, and so audio only on all of the major podcast streamers like
Right.
iTunes and Spotify and Google and a bunch of others that I wasn't aware of,
Yeah.
including the one that I use the most, which is Pocket Casts. We're not sponsored, but Pocket Casts has been great to me for like the 10 years I've subscribed to them. So it's great. So
Yeah.
the timing will still come out. We'll post them, I think, on Tuesday mornings. The folks who get our newsletter will find out first when new episodes have been launched. But if the YouTube thing's not working for you, you'll be able to download it from your favorite
Yeah.
streaming app and listen to it while you go for a walk or commuting or cooking or
Just anything.
falling asleep at night.
Yes, if our voices help you fall asleep, that's great too. I like. I always. I love my Spotify, so I always have all my. And
We're not sponsored by them.
No, we're not sponsored by them either.
We're open to it, though.
Yeah, thank you. So when Bob was all excited, he's like, "We're gonna be on Spotify too," and so I go on my Spotify account, and I wrote in, married to Portuguese, and there it is. It came up. So people are following us there and adding it to their you know, stuff. So it's great.
Yeah,
It's great.
So
It's great.
all of season 1,
Yep.
which was about 35 episodes.
Yeah. So now we're starting season 2.
Crazy enough, and so we'll start uploading those and
Yeah.
building the next category. So thank you
Yeah.
for your support. We ran into a lot of people this summer who
Yeah, you did. You
watched
did.
the podcast.
Okay, so now I want to share something here. Okay.
You don't have to.
Oh, I'm going to. So, you know, I know that this podcast is not, you know, married, you know, to English, Irish. It's married to Portuguese. I get it.
Yes.
So it's, like you said before, it's your show.
It's about me.
It's about him. It's about you, baby.
Yes.
Yes. So, and yes. So this summer we're out and about. You know, we've taken a break. And whether we were at a restaurant or at the Madeira Feast or at the market or name the place, someone would come to us and say, number 1, I have your book. Number 2, I love your show. And oh my goodness, I really love your podcast with Bob. You know, Bob, I love it because, you know, my husband is English Irish, or I'm English Irish, I'm married, you know. So the whole big scenario, and everyone said, you sound like my husband and I, or my wife and I, or, you know, whatever. So, and that they get a good chuckle, you know, when they hear our show. So yeah, so it was very nice. It was nice to hear that throughout the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was, because
Yeah.
we have so much fun doing
We
this.
do. We do. And I forgot the best part. So I'm not going to say where, but I had like a group of people who came over to him and said, "Can we have a selfie with you?" So because we really like your podcast. So there was a group of people around him and I took his picture.
I don't remember it quite
Yeah,
that way.
It was.
No.
It really was.
No.
It was.
No, it didn't go that way. I know you wanted to go that way.
It was.
It didn't. No.
Yep.
When I introduced myself to them, because they wanted to talk to you, they said, "Oh, we know who you are. We watch your podcast." And then out of pity, after they took a picture with you, they said, "Well, we'll take a picture with you." And I'm like, for the life of me, I don't know why you'd want a picture
All
with
I
me.
know is
But those people were lovely.
they were sweet.
And I really enjoyed
they
talking
they
to
were
them.
so sweet. They were so sweet.
But
Yeah, he's gonna have.
think so.
I have to just figure it out. You're gonna have groupies. You're having groupies. He's gonna get groupies. I know it.
I don't
Look
think
at that
so.
face. He's gonna have groupies.
Right. All right. Maybe it wasn't a pity selfie. Okay. Maybe it was just secondary, but they were there for you.
No, they weren't. So, needless to say, it was very nice. It was very nice. It was very sweet, and I loved it. I really
Yes.
loved seeing that. So
That
it
was a
good.
lot of fun.
I like to see that what we're doing, that people appreciate it as much as we love doing it. You know?
Yeah, it's one other way to talk about Portuguese culture and
Yeah.
what it's
Yeah.
like for us, and so that's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So that's fun. So
This is our first one back, so we'll make it short and sweet.
I think this is good. So I've got Madeira wine for us too.
Oh, we need to tell you something. So when we were at the Madeira Feast,
Mm-hmm.
they were serving, of course, Madeira wine,
Oh, of course.
and they served it to. We've always had it at room temperature, but they served it to us chilled. Oh boy, it's the best.
How did we not know this?
How did we not know to have it served chilled? So, chilled Madeira wine.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
All right.
All right, salute.
Thanks for tuning in.
Oh,
Good.
oh, that was so good. Oh, yeah. Nice.
We're back.
We're back.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we'd love to hear your ideas for topics. Ciao.